Okay, for the circle, you have two formulas. You have your area formula, which is pi r squared. And the area, think about the area as if you were wanting to know, you were wanting to buy a pool cover. You would need to know the area. So it has to cover the circle. So if you need to know that, you use the area circle. You use the area formula. Now, if you wanted to know how far around, say you're going to make a circular fence or a patio or something, just in a circle, and you wanted it around it like a fire pit maybe. So you're measuring around it. If you do that, you're going to do 2 pi r, or another way to write that is 2 radiuses make the diameter. So you could either write 2 r's or you could just write the d. So those are your two options there. So let's talk about that. The diameter is the distance all the way across the circle through the center of the circle. So here's the center, this little green mark. So if you were going through the center all the way across, that would be your diameter. Okay. And then if you wanted to measure from the center, let me find another color here. If you wanted to measure from the center just to one side, that's your radius. So your radius is half your diameter. So if your diameter is 10, your radius would be 5. Or if your radius is 6, your diameter would be 12. So D is always going to be twice what R is. So R is the baby. Think of R is the baby. And then D is the dad, because it's going to be twice as big as the baby. Alright, so let's look at one. So let's say that the center is here, and you found out that this is 3 meters, and we wanted to know the area. Let's say we're fixing to buy a pool cover, and we know that this is 3. Well, this is the radius. And the formula for the area, you have to know the radius to get the area. So if it's not given to you, you have to figure it out. And y'all are using 3.14 for pi. So we're rounding that to 3.14. And the radius is 3. So you're going to do 3 squared, which is 9. And your area is going to be 28.26 square meters. So that's how much material I would need for my pool cover. The next problem is 10.8. And it's basically worked the same way because we're given the radius again. So we would do 3.14 times 10.8 squared. And 10.8 squared times 3.14 is 366.2 square feet. Okay, it was feet. The next problem is it gives you this. And it says that this is 14 yards. Well, what is this? This is the distance all the way across. That's the dad, or the diameter. So the diameter is 14 yards. we're trying to find the area. We need to know the formula for the area is pi r squared. We know pi is 3.14. We know the dad or the diameter is 14, but we want r, the kid. He's half of the dad. So that would be 7 squared. So that's important to know. Don't use the 14. That's the diameter. Times 3.14. So that would be 153 rounded to 0.9 because it was 0.86. And it would be square yards. Okay, and then let's see. The next one is 31. And the formula, we're still doing area, is pi r squared, and pi is 3.14. This is the diameter, so the diameter is 31. We want to find, we need r. The dad's bigger, right? So we need to split him up, half him, to get the radius, and that would be 15.5. So 15.5 squared. So 15.5 squared times 3.14 is 754.4 if you round it. Square kilometers. Don't forget to put your unit of measurement there. Okay, for this is a semicircle, so this is half of a circle, and we want to find, we want to find the area of that circle. So what we need to do is we need to write our formula for the area of a circle, but we don't have a whole circle, so whatever we get, we only want half of it. When you take half of something, you divide it by 2. So we know that pi is 3.14. We know the radius is 16 squared divided by 2. And if we put that in the calculator, divide it by 2, I got 401.9. So our answer is 401.9 square centimeters. This is another area, so area equals pi r squared, but this is half of a circle, so we have to divide it by 2. So pi is 3.14. Now we don't have the radius, we have all the way across. We only want, that's the dad, we only want half of that. So 22.6 is the diameter. So if we halve that, we will have our radius. So 11.3 squared times 3.14 would be 400.9, and I forgot to write the unit of measurement here. Inches, square inch. Oh, and I almost made a mistake here. I forgot to divide it by 2 because we only have half of a circle. So let me divide it by 2, and I would get 200.5 for my area of my semicircle. Okay, on these they're asking us to find the circumference and round to the nearest tenth. So we have two formulas. It's either 2 pi r, 2 r's times pi, or pi times diameter. We're not squaring anything because we're talking about the measurement around the circle. That's what we're trying to find. So here we know r, so we want to use the formula with r in it. So you can use either formula, but I always use the one that I know already have the radius. I use that one. If I have the diameter, I use that one. So 2 times 3.14 times 17 And when you get that, it would be 106.88 millimeters. We do not put square units on circumference. It's basically the perimeter of a circle. You're going around it. Okay, for the next one, we have 3.9. So you would work it the same way because it's the radius. So we would just change R and we would make it 3.9. So we would do 2 times 3.14 times 3.9, and that is 24.5, and I forgot the unit. It is meters. Okay, so for the next circle, we have 19, and it goes all the way through. And remember, when we measure all the way through, that's the big one, that's the dad. So let's use that formula when we know that the diameter is just pi times the diameter. So 3.14 times 19, and that is 59.66 centimeters. For the next one, it's another one where we go all the way through, and it's 8.4 inches. So we're going to use the formula with pi times d, and we know pi is 3.14 and the diameter is 8.4. So if we multiply 3.14 times 8.4, we get 26.4 inches. Okay, and then the next ones are word problems, and it says find the radius of a circle. So we want to find the radius of a circle, and they're giving us the area. So we know the formula for the area of a circle is pi r squared, and they're saying the area is 706.9. We know pi is 3.14, and we are trying to find the radius. So we plug in what we know. We're going to divide 706.9 divided by 3.14. And we get 225.1, I guess. It depends on how she wants you to round there. And then to get r squared, to get r, you take the square root of that. So the square root of 225.1, it would be about 15. So r is 15. Okay, for the next one, number 12, if the area of a circle is, so we're doing area again. So go ahead and write your formula down. And we know the area is 28.27. Find the length of its diameter. Well, diameter is not even in the formula. So first we've got to figure out what r is. So we're going to solve for r. We're going to divide by 3.14 on both sides. And 28.27 divided by 3.14 is about 9. So take the square root, and r is 3. Let's think about that. We need to find the diameter. The diameter is the dad. Remember, he's twice as big. So if he's twice as big, times it by 2, and we get 6. Remember, the radius is 3, and 2 radiuses make up the diameter, so the diameter would have to be 6. I don't think we have time for another one, so I'll do one more video.